Feed your soul. How do you feed your soul? How do you feed your soul? Take her to church? Well, that's a good way.
With good friends.
With good friends. There is a good thing right there, absolutely. So take the time, and everybody has these busy lives, right? They come home from work, they're exhausted, they have a headache because they work in a toxic environment, they work with people they don't like, they're doing things they don't like. It's time to start doing what you like. So if you can't afford to quit your job right now and do what you like in the evenings. Make it happen. Find some friends who have the same kind of ideas about you, about the way you like to live. Join them. Join a meetup group. I have a raw food meetup group. We get together. We eat raw foods together. We play drums. What else do? We have picnics. You know, we go on hikes. We do all kinds of fun things. And it enlivens your soul and brings you back to where you want to be. We have really good times. So think about what's really important in your life. Relationships are absolute must. If you want to have a healthy body, you have to have good relationships with all around you. Whatever brings you peace, go towards it. Whatever brings you disharmony, walk away from it. Even if it means walking away from people in your life that you feel you need to be with. You have to do what you have to do to keep yourself healthy. Absolutely. What do you do to make yourself happy, Jane?
Well, I do a lot of meditation.
Meditation, getting quiet and listening. And that keeps you feeling good.
I'm working for a long time.
Good. And you look so happy. So good to be here with you. So, I'm just trying to think here. I might not have been able to close this. Do you have any ideas, Judy? Of what I talked about?
About stress.
Stress. Yeah. Stress is an important one. When your body's in stress, you become more acidic. And an acidic body is more prone to get cancer than an alkaline body. Now, you've probably all heard of alkaline acid balance, maybe. So, cancer lives in an acidic state, not in an alkaline state. So when you talk about the foods you eat, you want to eat the most alkaline foods. Alkaline foods are plant foods. Mostly fruits, vegetables, some nuts and seeds. Grains are kind of in the middle. You want to get even towards just eating fruits and vegetables. And I know it sounds way out there, but I'll tell you, the more I eat raw, whole, fresh, organic foods, the better I feel. So then you seem to look at the world differently. You seem to have a better outlook on things, and you get to have less stress in your life because you feel better. When you don't feel good, you become more stressed. You're not yourself. You don't feel well. You're not treating other people well. You're not even treating yourself well. So avoid stress if you can. I mean, there's no way to get away from stress. You live in a town where there's traffic and there's people beeping at you, and there's annoyances all over the place. It's what your perception of those annoyances are. What are you going to do about it to make it okay in your world?
Share with us what you eat on your monthly diet.
Yeah, that's a good question. Victoria asked what I eat mostly on my raw diet. Well, usually it's fruit for breakfast and fruit for lunch, and then salads for dinner. And I'll give you examples of that. So in the morning, all summer long, I'm on watermelon. So I have a Vitamix, which is my favorite piece of equipment. The best way to piss me off would be to take my Vitamix away. That would really not be good. So Vitamix in the morning, I take a half of a watermelon, throw that in there, I go out in the yard and get some mint. I have about 4 or 5 different kinds of mints growing in the yard. Anyone can grow mint. We had mint growing in South Bethlehem. You know, we have a little strip of grass and it's all mint. So anyone can grow mint. So it would be, I would have my mint watermelon smoothie, and I'd also squeeze some lime or lemon in there to alkalinize even more, which sounds strange because you think of those as acidic fruits. But when they are brought into your body, they are taken as alkaline. So you would do that. You put lemon or lime in there, watermelon, mint, and that's what I do all summer. Now other times I'll use different melons and things like that. You want something that's a little lighter for breakfast. But I drink a half a gallon of it. So you could say, how could you do that? But it is kind of light, you know, it's just like drinking that much liquid, and it's delicious. So that would be my breakfast in the summertime. Then for lunch, I would do a banana smoothie, and that would consist of 7 to 10 bananas. And I would usually put some maca powder, which is this raw Peruvian root, which tastes really good. It's good for hormone balance. But you don't even need that. I mean, you don't have to buy all kind of products to eat healthy. You really don't. I just add that for the taste. I think it tastes good. So a banana smoothie, and you could also turn that into a green smoothie, so you could get some greens in. So you could take a handful of kale, Swiss chard, romaine lettuce, mixed greens, whatever it is. The important thing is to make sure you like it. The mistake that my friends make when they start on smoothies is they'll put like a pound of greens. They'll put a pound of greens in with 3 bananas, and I wouldn't even drink that, and I like my greens. So the key is to like your smoothies, and really, if you incorporated smoothies into your diet every day, that would take your acidity down to alkalinity like this. And if you started having fruit for breakfast, it would bring it down to here. And what you would do is get yourself some strips that you can pee on that can tell you what your alkaline balance is. And you keep them in the bathroom and you test it. And every time I do it, it's alkaline, unless I drink coffee. And it's the funniest thing because coffee is so acidic and so rough on your kidneys and liver. It's so harsh, it really truly is, that when I drink coffee and then 10 minutes later, not even 10 minutes later, I go in and pee on the strip and I'm totally acidic. And I think, oh my God, now my body has to struggle like heck to get me back into balance. And if your blood is not balanced, you'll die. Now, you won't die right away, but it's a slow and painful death for over years and years, because your body constantly has to struggle to keep yourself in that balance, you know? So you have your fruit for breakfast, you have your fruit for lunch, and you'll start eating these banana smoothies, and they're delicious. And make them delicious. Put in what you like to make them good. Make sure they're ripe. Another common mistake people do is they get bananas that are yellow or green even. You want a banana that's spotty. You want black spots on it. You almost want it to be like alcohol.
Sit down there.
Not quite that, but you do. You really want them nice and ripe. And if you buy them in bulk, you can, when they get ripe and you're not finished with them, you could always put them in the freezer and then put them in your smoothies. But add some greens. If you're not going to do salads at night, you're going to want to add greens to your lunchtime smoothie. And then the key to having raw for dinner would be to have a nice big huge salad that you're not bored with. You gotta learn some recipes on dressings. Nice, easy dressings. And I'll tell you, people make a big deal out of dressings. You don't want to buy bottled dressings. Again, you look at the ingredients. You have guar gum, you have propylene glycol, which is almost the same thing as antifreeze. You know, it keeps it smooth so you can enjoy it. So you don't want that. You want to start making your own dressings, and they're so easy. It's as easy as throwing a couple tomatoes in the Vitamix with an avocado and maybe an orange. I mean, you could just change it up, do different things. And a lot of times you could just put fruit and tomato, you know? I mean, it's just easy. And what you have to do is get together, join some meetup groups, look up raw food recipes. I have a YouTube channel. You could go on there. It's Fruit Fanatic 33. I give you all kind of ideas on how to make healthy dressings that keep your body in a nice alkaline state, therefore lower and lower and lower your risk of cancer. And I myself, it's funny, I don't even fear cancer. I don't even think about it. And I see people dropping left and right, and it's so scary. And all they have to do is change a couple things in their lives. And this is fun changes. This isn't drudgery. You know, this is not at all that. I mean, I enjoy my food. I enjoy sitting at my cutting board and cutting up my celery and carrots and my lettuce and stuff, and the smells and the colors of all the foods that I'm preparing. And it doesn't even take long. I mean, to do a spiralized spaghetti at night, did anyone ever hear of a spiralizer? Yeah, they're really fun. Okay, you look at pasta as a lot of wheat, a lot of gluten, and gluten acts like glue when it gets in your intestines. It's kind of acidic too, actually. So if you would learn how to get a spiralizer and buy some zucchini and make this pasta for dinner, I mean, if people have pasta 2 or 3 times a week and you traded it up and did the spiralizer thing, if you think about how long it takes to boil your water, right, and then put the pasta in, and then have to keep stirring it so it don't stick, you're looking at maybe 6-7 minutes to boil the water first, the big pot, then you're looking at another 10 minutes to do the pasta, then you rinse it off and all that stuff. You do the same time with the spiralizer. You're looking at the same amount of time, if not less. If not less. Judy's saying
Plus
less.
energy savings. Look at the energy costs you save.
Energy costs too. My stove, I almost never turn my stove on. I'm mostly raw. Yeah. And it's true, your energy costs. And in the hot summer day, who wants to have their stove on and have water boiling in your kitchen? So, and then as far as making a sauce, you could just throw some tomatoes. What do you put in a sauce? What do you put in a red sauce? You're Italian. Tell me what you put in your sauce.
Tomatoes, basil, yeah.
Basil, little oregano, garlic. All right.
Fruit Fanatic 33, is that on YouTube?
It's on YouTube. Fruit Fanatic 33. You got it.
Just go to YouTube.
Just go to YouTube. Check it out. Fruit Fanatic 33. I should have brought some brochures. My booth is down here, and I'll have some brochures over there if you try and find me.
New Morning Holistic.
New Morning Holistic Health Services. I'm number 78.
Thank you.
Yep. So, all the stuff you mentioned for a sauce, all you do is throw in the Vitamix. You don't have to cook it. Blend it up. If you want to add a little olive oil, you can. You don't have to, though. Olive oil makes it a little...
Throw an avocado in.
You could put an avocado in. You're right. You don't even need olive oil. If you want to get rid of the oil altogether, you're better off. But I'll tell you, this sauce is fabulous, and it has all the phytonutrients, everything that the plant has to offer, the tomatoes, the basil, the parsley, the, whatever else you put in your garlic, it's everything. You're eating it raw, you're eating it real. And when you put that over your spiralized zucchini, it's the best bowl of spaghetti you'll ever have, honestly. I don't know if you ever tried it.
What could be used besides the zucchini? Zucchini makes me nauseous.
You know, that is funny. Zucchini is kind of, yeah, some people, I'm sorry, what?
Spaghetti squash.
Spaghetti squash is good, and you know what's really good? Butternut squash. You know the one, it has the bulb at the end? Cut that bulb off and you have this straight piece, and cut the end off, and then just run that through. And I'll tell you, that is delicious. You can even do sweet potatoes. Yeah. Spiralizer? S-P-I-R-O?
She said it's called.
Well, there's a spiruli and then there's the spiralizer. You know what? I'm not real good at spelling in my head. I have to write it down.
S-P-I-R-A-L.
But if you look it up on the internet, spiruli is one, spiralizer. There's a couple different brands out there. The spiralizer is the one I really like myself. So if you could try to make some changes in your life that will help you to keep yourself and your family cancer free. Look at all the things I mentioned. Look at your environment. Look at the air you're breathing. If you go to buy a new house or live in a new apartment, really taking these things into consideration. If you drink water that's city water, try and find a way to get rid of the chlorine. And I'm not just talking about what you're drinking. I'm talking about your shower. Because, like I said earlier, your skin absorbs. And when you're talking a hot shower, all your pores are open up, so you're really absorbing. You're absorbing all this filters. They sell filters that you can put right on your shower that take the chlorine out. Yeah. And there's actually been a paper that was written years ago, and I can't remember what city, but it was a big city. For some reason, I think it's Milwaukee, where they had the city water never used chlorine, and then they decided to use chlorine. The heart disease in the next 5 years went up like 85% or more. The heart disease. So, I mean, it just makes you think. Think of what chlorine does something to your arteries, your veins and arteries.